Hello everyone, what is happening? I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. Apparently you guys can't get enough of Shrek and I don't blame you. Shrek is love and Shrek is most definitely life. I feel like a lot of people were waiting for me to say that. And just to clarify, since some people thought the last video was just meant to be about the first movie, these theories are about any and all the movies. I mean, the more Shrek the better, right? As per every video guys, come join our swamp and subscribe to the channel and subscribe to Top 10 Hindi videos as well because the swamp is one and the same. Now I've lost myself in this swamp analogy going on right now, but anyway, let's just get into it. This is the Top 10 Scary Shrek Theories Part 2. Starting us off with number 10, we have Mr. and Mrs. Farquaad. Ew, who would even want to marry that vertically challenged man, let alone take his last name, Fiona? That's who. Yeah, I'm not kidding. We see evidence of this all throughout the first film. If only he had played his cards right, he could have become royalty after all. I don't mean to be mean, but if Fiona fell in love with Shrek, there really is hope for Lord Farquaad. When he first rescues her, we see Fiona annoyed at the fact that Shrek isn't 1, what she thought a Prince Charming would be, and 2, not romantic at all. Then she even demands that Lord Farquaad should have come rescued her in person. Hello, she's now given us 3 hints of what he could have done right and made her fall in love. Shrek and Fiona only fall in love on the way back to Duloc. The journey and spending time is what sparks the love. So basically, in essence, if Lord Farquaad wasn't lazy and had just gone to get Fiona himself, she would have been happily married to him. And I don't even want to imagine what their big-headed children would have looked like. Just next point. Coming in at number 9, we have Shrek's name. Exactly, who even came up with that name? Now many people have theorized that Shrek actually made his name up, and I'll tell you why. In the first movie, when Donkey asks him what his name is, Shrek hesitates before finally saying, Shrek, which have led many people to believe he made it up on the spot, not thinking it would actually stick. Then later on, when Fiona asks, well, can I at least know the name of my champion? Shrek again hesitates and then goes, Shrek. People believe that Shrek had never been asked his name before, since every time he'd encountered people before, they would usually just shriek. Shriek? Shrek? I see it. I definitely see it. And the word Shrek actually means fright in German, and based on what Shrek wears, it's very likely that Far Far Away could have been very well set in Germany. Hence, when he was asked his name, he sort of just said the first thing that came to his mind, which is what he's been used to hearing people call him. And kind of sad now that I look back at it. At number 8 now, we have Facebook. I know, you're probably thinking, how the hell does Shrek have anything to do with Facebook? And honestly, I was thinking the exact same thing, but this is a legitimate theory offered up by BuzzFeed. If we go and look at the scene from Shrek, where we can see Lord Farquaad's castle, his flags are blue with a big white F in the middle. Ring any bells? Is this starting to fall into place? Now I wonder which social media platform has a blue logo with a big white F in the middle. I mean, I think Facebook might. Shrek came out in 2001, Facebook was launched in 2004. Now, I'm not saying Mark Zuckerberg was watching Shrek and thought, oh, this may be a great look for my app, but I'm also not saying that either. I mean, make of this what you will. Filling our number 7 slot is Your One True Love. Now, if I were to conclude this theory, I would just have to say that it's basically saying that Fiona is fake as hell, which I find pretty funny if I'm honest. This theory is solely based on the plot of the second film, so here we go. We already saw in the first film that it was Shrek who was Fiona's one true kiss and love, and then they got married. Quick recap, done, great. Now in the next film, after Shrek and Donkey drink the happily ever after potion and wake up in their better looking forms, the fairy godmother realizes what's happened and sends Charming to the castle as Shrek instead. I'm sorry, how does Fiona not realize that Prince Charming isn't Shrek? Why does it take him bursting in at the last possible second for her to realize, oh damn, maybe this isn't my husband after all? How did she not even realize she wasn't interacting with her husband, her betrothed? It's beyond me. But either way, because of her stupidity and shallow love for Shrek and for her inability to know who her husband is, people have theorized that Fiona is fake and that Shrek is not her one true love, and that frankly he deserves better. And I agree. Now at number 6 is Wolverine. I know, far-fetched but possible. If If we look at the character arc of Shrek, he starts off as a grumpy, isolated outsider misanthrope, and he's slowly worn down by people who want to help him and who genuinely care about him, and then he starts to care about his family and other people and is sort of an anti-hero or even hero. But either way, in many ways he's exactly like Wolverine. Logan is also an angry, sensitive, loner, monster guy who goes on to help and care for the people he loves and ends up redeeming himself. So just imagine all of Logan's adventures, but for Shrek. People are theorizing if DreamWorks was to make another spin-off, it could be like Wolverine and deal with adult themes. Just imagine this. Shrek's entire family is dead. Donkey is off the rails crazy, Shrek has nothing to live for, and the swamp is dried up. He has one last chance at a fairy tale journey that'll give him peace, closure, and a happy ending. See, as I say it actually sounds like a very entertaining movie, and Shrek as an action star, I'd watch it. Coming at number 5 now is Rumpelstiltskin. Now Rumple is honestly a pain in everyone's ass, but let's face it. Yet everyone keeps falling for his twisted contracts one after the other. First Queen Lillian and King Harold, and then later Shrek in the last movie. I mean, come on people, have you guys learned nothing from each other? The man is not to be trusted. But anyway, the theory is that Rumpelstiltskin will eventually take over Far Far Away, and here's why. In a nutshell, he's smarter than everyone. He was this close to erasing Lillian and Harold from existing, and Shrek was practically fading away just as Fiona kissed him, so he was also this close to being erased from existence. So really, if Fiona had just waited one more second, Rumple would have been king then and there. But she didn't, thank God, and that little troll is not the king of Far Far Away. But he still could be, judging by the fact Artie is the new king and he's very easily manipulated. It's only about time before Rumpelstiltskin would have roped him into some evil contract as well. Evil little con man. At number 4 is Far Far Away. The land of Far Far Away seems like it's being run pretty well, you know, people seem to be flourishing, businesses are going, people are happy, they're probably paying taxes, I mean it's going well. However, this theory claims that after Artie becomes king, the land is destined to become ruined. Let's look at the third movie. When we meet Artie, he's the butt of everyone's joke and is bullied by basically everyone. Fact. Next, when he realizes all the responsibilities that come with being king, he literally ruins everything by trying to turn the ship around and then making it crash. He's impulsive, scared, and doesn't think. Fact. Next, he cons Merlin into sending them back to Far Far Away, which is a smart thing to do, but he also manipulates probably the only person that's ever been nice to him, and that is the making of a bad leader. Next. The only part of his character that's king quality is a speech at the very end, which he's only good at because he himself is a loser and he's appealing to other losers. All in all, due to the above mentioned reasons, Artie would have ruined Far Far Away during his rule. I feel like I just gave a law court hearing. Filling our number 3 slot is Queen Lillian, who is probably the most underrated character in all of the movies. I mean seriously, King Harold is just plain dumb, so really Lillian is holding the whole family afloat. I mean she's really carrying that team. But anyway, this theory centers around the third movie and theorizes that Queen Lillian is part fae of some kind, or at least part magical and not just human. That's because during the scene where all the women are locked up, Lillian headbutts not just one, but 2 solid brick walls to the point of them collapsing just so they can all escape. Now, I know that she says it's because of her fighting skills, but I've seen some of the most skilled fighters be able to break layers of bricks with their hand, but not 2 full-on walls with their head. Something about her explanation just doesn't add up. And if Fiona had the same fighting skills, why couldn't she have just headbutted her way out of the tower that she was locked in? Exactly. Now at number 2 is Arthur Pendragon. Now we're introduced to our beloved Artie in Shrek the Third when in the midst of Fiona and Shrek taking over for the now dying King Harold, Harold mentions to Shrek another heir for the throne, his nephew Arthur. However, throughout the whole film, we don't actually find out who Artie's father actually is. A Reddit thread started by John Call of Duty theorized his father was Sir Justin, and if you don't remember who that is, that's totally fine. Cast your mind back to the second movie where Shrek reads Fiona's diary, and then sees a poster of someone called Sir Justin, and it would make sense for the family to have pictures and posters of their other family members in the house, so the people on that thread believe that Justin is his father. On the other hand, other people believe Prince Charming is actually Artie's dad. Plot twist. They both both basically have the same hair and are both royalty. Instead of being a son of King Harold's siblings, people believe one of Lillian's sisters had married Charming, and that Charming's real name is Uther Pendragon, which is Arthur Pendragon's real dad in real life. Even if you see Charming cry at the start of the movie and then see Artie fake cry, they literally look exactly the same. It can't just be a coincidence. And as for Charming wanting to marry Fiona, it's not like incest was uncommon amongst royalty anyway. And finally, at number 1 is Puss in Boots, our resident Spanish heartthrob and part-time cutest cat I've ever seen in my life. It's weird that there's only been one theory about Puss considering he's such a titular character after the first movie, but hey, better late than never. The theory claims that when King Harold hired Puss to get rid of Shrek on that hunting trip, Puss agreed to it in the hopes that he himself would end up getting to marry Princess Fiona. Well, is there even one male character in this film that doesn't have a thing for her? Probably just Donkey? He thought after doing what the king wanted, he may have helped him capture Fiona's heart afterwards. But after not being able to defeat Shrek and realizing he actually likes these two amigos, he decides to abandon his womanizer plan. Wow, now I've heard it all. Imagine Fiona and Puss's kids. I can't even. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed another dose of Shrek on your screens, and I feel like after doing both these videos I need to rewatch all the Shrek movies because I just loved them growing up. Puss in Boots literally had my heart from day one. Which theory did you enjoy the most? Which one did you think was the most realistic, and which one did you think was the most ridiculous? My vote for most ridiculous would probably have to be Wolverine, because how on earth would they achieve that? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, guys. As always, I'm your host Eamon Hassan, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!